Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
Dear Amber, having BPD does not excuse bad behaviour. Just for context, and being a tad dramatic, while BPD can be used in court as a defence, it's not a simple defence like insanity. It can be considered by the court, especially when it comes to sentencing and understanding the context of the offence. On its own, it doesn't automatically excuse criminal behaviour like a full insanity defence might. Basically, what I'm saying is my barometer as to whether something can be used as an excuse or a justification for abusive behaviour, violence, mistreatment of animals, stalking, sociopathic behaviour, and other things like accusing other people of intimately mistreating them. If your life was presented to a judge and a jury, your diagnosis of BPD, while it may be taken into consideration for some of your outbursts, it neither excuses nor justifies any of your behaviours that you do while your mood is somewhat more stable, such as making that video accusing Casey of intimate mistreatment. That was not done during a BPD episode, was it? Additionally, this might come as a bit of a surprise to you, Amber. You can have BPD and NPD simultaneously. And considering I legitimately don't believe you have ever told the God-honest truth to even a therapist, I think getting a diagnosis of NPD would actually be a cakewalk should you have actually told the truth. In fact, I would literally bet my life that you don't even write the truth in your journals. The fear of them being discovered, for one, and for two, to maintain the delusion that you have in your head that you are the perpetual victim. You may or may not have BPD, but one thing we know for certain is you're not doing anything about it. I'm more inclined, based on my academic history in psychology, to say that you have NPD, which can easily be mistaken for BPD. But, funnily enough, your little narcissistic brain would never acknowledge this fact. I would like to point out to everybody listening, including you, Amber, that this is my opinion and I'm not stating it as a fact. You then stated that all the things you did when you were younger with your undiagnosed BPD, your traumatic home life, and you repetitively being kicked out of foster care has affected you to this very day. Can I ask you a question that's been bothering me? What were the reasons you repetitively got kicked out of foster care? Could it possibly be something to do with you? And why, when you were kicked out of a foster home, your brother elected to stay with the people you were escaping from? Isn't it peculiar how only you got thrown out and only you remained unadopted? I mean, yes, I'm being harsh here, but it's kind of curious when you think about it. So Aunt Tammy left you at home, alone, with nothing but sauerkraut to eat. That would have been an issue had you been under the age of, let's be generous and say 13. But you, Amber, were 18 years old. You could have remedied the situation very easily and should have been able to rectify the situation very easily. Anyway, you survived that awful episode of neglect. So, it's water under the bridge, isn't it? So let's list the things having untreated BPD does not excuse. Having undiagnosed BPD does not excuse any physical contact upon another person. Having undiagnosed BPD does not excuse or justify doing anything without another person's consent. It does not justify accusations of intimate mistreatment against anybody. It does not justify lying. It does not justify scamming. It does not justify the mistreatment of animals, or more accurately, the chronic neglect of animals. It does not justify EDs or binge eating. It does not justify raging, because here's the thing. You use your BPD as an alcoholic would use them being blackout drunk as an excuse for doing things. And people are somewhat unsympathetic of drunk people doing shit like committing crimes and physical assault and stuff. And your undiagnosed BPD should be treated in the same way when you use it as justification for what is, quite frankly, in my personal opinion, let's consider this an unofficial diagnosis, as being a raging, narcissistic, manipulative arsehole. You are neither a child, nor are you intellectually impaired, nor do you have an IQ that is so low that you are unable to differentiate the difference between right and wrong. Whether you like it or not, Amber, you are an adult and relatively functional one at that, ignoring that you are borderline immobile, of course. The decisions you have made, the actions you have taken, your character and your behaviour are well within your control. You have a possible explanation for some things. You do not have a reason or an excuse for any of those things.